Everyone can learn the technical aspect of a camera. Everyone. What really makes you stand out is learning the pacing of the edit. When you finish your edit, switch off the music, turn it off, and see how the visuals work. Is there a beat? Have a little beat in your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have that beat in your edit, that's it. You have a good edit.
Hello everyone, welcome to Creato Podcast, Create Together. I'm your host and my name is Alex. Every 1 to 2 weeks, we talk to amazing content creators about their journeys in content creation and their stories behind. From how they started creating content and how they fell in love with it, to any challenges along the way and tips to fellow creators and audience. We simply love having conversations with creators. Without further ado, let's introduce our guest of the day. Cool, so let's get right into it. So every time the first question is we ask the guest if there's any food or snacks, like a favorite one that accompanies you along the creative journey. So what is yours to share with us today?
Well, I can't be too proud of it, but it's Red Bull. Red Bull. Unfortunately, I drink too much of it. I'm trying to reduce it at the moment, but yeah, Red Bull should really sponsor me one day, I think. But yeah, it's a lot of sugar drinks, soft drinks, Red Bull primarily, but coffee, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm trying to reduce. It's not very healthy, but it's a problem.
So you mean you have a can of Red Bull every day, or you have like more?
I have 4 to 5, unfortunately. 4 to 5.
What?
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. It's a problem. Especially when you are in front of the computer working, editing, you're in the edit, you're concentrated, you're focused, trying to solve editing problems, your hand just naturally goes for that can, unfortunately. And right now I'm trying to change my habit a little bit, so I'm drinking a lot more tea. But yeah, Red Bull keeps me alive, to be honest.
Wow, 4 to 5 cans.
Yeah.
How long has it been? Like, how long has it been?
Yeah, well, look, this is a habit, a bad habit that I've been having for a long time, a very long time, unfortunately. Maybe 4 to 5 years. But yeah, I drink it when I shoot. I drink it when I edit. I drink it, I smoke a lot as well. So every time I'm working or, chilling, I have a Red Bull, unfortunately.
Right. So it's I think it's a thing that like with you like all the time. When you create, when you edit, like everything is like it's more than a habit, right? So it's been with you like for a long time.
It's true. Yeah, it's more than a habit, and it's not a good habit, to be honest, because you're all constantly, if you abuse the product, if you abuse the drink like I do, because obviously it's not supposed to be abused this way. It's an addiction at this point. But if you abuse it, the way I do, and I have nothing against Red Bull, obviously I love it, but it's constant ups and downs, because you have this little rush of energy, and then you crash, and then again you have to repeat that rush of energy. So it's constant, highs and lows. But yeah, I'm completely abusing the product. I shouldn't do it. Red Bull, I'm sorry. I shouldn't do it.
Yeah, but so knowing that, and we can it comes to make sense that your videos, a lot of them are very energetic. I guess that might be maybe a little bit of influence from the Red Bull, since
could be.
Yeah. Cool. And so what we know of you is that you are a videographer and a photographer based in Dubai.
Yes.
And can you talk us through like how you actually began the journey? And yeah.
Sure. So I've loved to tinker with cameras and stuff like that since I was young. My dad used to have a old VHS dad cam. That's what we call it. The big one you keep on your shoulder. So yeah, since childhood, I kind of loved cameras. Once I came to Dubai, I started working here in a few retail stores before I became a full-time fledged videographers to say, but when I used to work in a store here in Dubai, or at Apple, I used to work at Apple as well as a sales advisor. After work, I'd grab my camera because I used to have a small camera and just go enjoy and shoot. Not for money, not for anything. It's just a way for me to depart from all the stress during the day. It's a way to escape. So it was my gateway to a peaceful mind. I usually would shoot at night because Dubai is really really hot, so you can afford to shoot when the sun goes down, especially in the summer or spring. So I'd shoot night photos a lot. After work, I would finish my job, get my little camera. I would usually have it with me and start to shoot and mess around. And then because I loved it, I developed this desire to, what, I want to move forward. I want to move out of the store. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's good to have a job and be able to pay the rent and so on and so forth. But I always kind of I want to do more, with this camera. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to make money with this camera? I would ask myself that from time to time. And then I'd work for free, for different brands. Some clothing brands here and there, for free, on my day off, because I loved it. I started with photos, and then I, slowly transitioned into video. Started messing around with different NLEs, with different editing softwares, and yeah, I fell in love with it more and more and more and more, and to the point where I realized, what, I can actually sustain myself and pay the rent. Pay all my bills and have some sort of normal life doing this as a full time. And yeah, I transitioned somewhere around 3 years ago. Probably it's where I started doing freelance professionally. Because you're a professional when you start to get money. That's what they say. So I completely transitioned. Yeah, I would still do free stuff from time to time just for pleasure, when collaborations with friends or even a brand, that if there's a few brands that I really really love, and I would do it for free regardless. Tesla, if you're hearing me, Elon Musk, we'll see for you, but I know he doesn't need it. But yeah, it was a slow process, but it was always there in my mind to, hey, let's try do something with it.
Yeah, and so I guess you like cars, right? Because I remember you had a recent award, one of the car videos with MG.
Yes, that's to be very honest, I have never ever ever shot cars in my life. That video was my first time shooting a car. Honestly. I didn't have the experience of shooting cars before. I have a few guys on Instagram here local that are in Dubai that I see their reels sometimes, I see their videos, and they do some really really cool stuff. Like, it's wow, it's amazing. And I was really scared that one of these guys might participate in this competition as well, because if he did, I would not win this car. But yeah, it was a chance. I applied, they accepted it. They accepted me to participate. So basically they selected 10 people from around Dubai. You'd have to show them any reel that you have, food, fashion, travel, whatever work you have. Based on that, they would say, okay, we can have this guy participate. They selected me as well, so I was one of the 10 people selected in Dubai. And then yeah, they gave us the car for 2 days. It's a random car. You show up at the garage. We showed up, everybody. They said, okay, there's a table with the keys. You just pick one key at random. So okay,
Wow.
this is your car, that's your car, this is your car. And because it was a collaboration between MG and Nikon, Nikon provided their camera, the brand new one that they have released, the Z6 II. They provide the camera, and the challenge was you have to shoot using this camera, this lens, with this car. You have 2 days, make a cool story, and a 1-minute video. And whoever's the greatest, I guess, wins the car. It was a big surprise, honestly, because I don't have a car right now, to be honest. We sold our car last year due to some financial craziness, and yeah, we've been renting and taxi and renting. And it's a headache. And now we're gonna get the car, I think, next week, because they're doing some papers and all that stuff. But yeah, it was crazy. My first ever car video, which is insane. To be very honest, I had to get some inspiration from somewhere, so Instagram helped a little bit. I kind of knew the style that I wanted to do, fast paced, very dynamic, kind of crazy. But yeah, they liked it, so I'm really really thankful they did. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, congrats, man. And we didn't know it was the first time to actually use that camera, and you had to use that particular lens as well.
Yes.
So it was very challenging. And so you have 2 days, new camera, new car, and to get used to like both of them, and then tell your stories.
It's true, Alex. The most challenging part of it was, what am I gonna tell? Because the way they positioned the competition was, tell a story based on a human experience. Like, show the car, but there should be a human element into it. So you literally have 2 days to come up with a story. Obviously, I said, okay, my wife. Okay, you're gonna act for me. You love speeding, you love adventure. That's it. That's the story. That's the baseline, and we shoot everything based on that. And they liked it. So yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, the camera was new, the lens was new. I've used Nikon before, but only for photography. I never used it for video. And yeah, I had to ask some of my friends to help me with the car to drive, because I wanted to get driving shots of the car. So I needed another car to be in, because I don't have a car. And even if I
That's
had a
right.
car, I need a driver so I can get the shots. So yeah, I had a friend help me out as well. Angelo, if you're seeing this, shout out to you, my brother. He really helped me out. But yeah, that's the story behind it. Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. And obviously it has been like 3 years full time as a freelance. And I want to go back a little bit, like how you started it, because obviously there were a lot of challenges, and especially one of your videos before I actually get to see you today, you talk about how you talk about the truth as a freelancer,
Yes.
basically. So that actually echo what like why we are doing what we're doing, because we want to make content creation sustainable, basically. And it's not that sustainable a lot of times, basically, to content creators. So
That's true.
so what was the major like setbacks, sorry, not setbacks, what was the major like challenges you had to overcome from from getting started, and then doing content for free, to establish your portfolio, and then eventually you decided to make the jump to become a full-time freelancer? Because that's very brave, to be honest. Especially it's especially 3 years ago. That was like just before COVID, and then things changed so rapidly, like this couple of years.
Yeah, you're right. It was challenging. What really helped me, I guess, is the fact that I love teaching. So I mentioned before that I used to work for different retail stores here in Dubai, and then the last retail store that I worked for was Apple. At Apple, they have this program where anyone interested in teaching can teach their customers on how to, say, use the iPhone camera, how to shoot photos, how to shoot videos, how to edit using iMovie. Super simple stuff for people, like my mom, like my dad, who, don't really know how to do it. So maybe because I applied for it because first they got me as a sales advisor. So basically selling iPhones, selling MacBooks and stuff like that. And then I applied for, a creative pro role. That's what they call creative pro. They still have it running. Yeah, they still have it running to this day, where they have sessions or classes for free to anyone who wants to book online. You can book online a session. You show up how to. They have different classes anyway. So they accepted me. They saw that I'm doing, photography and video outside of Apple on my personal time. So being a creative pro at Apple for 2.5 years really helped me, because, well, first, I'm passionate about teaching, passionate about explaining, breaking it down, going down to, people's level, because not everybody, of course, not everyone understands how to use that iPhone camera, even the slider, how to control the light. So that really helped me. And then some of the students that I used to have worked for different agencies, for example, content agencies. And one of them noticed me, and then they put a word to their manager at the agency. And then we had an Instagram talk. They said, hey, this nice video. How did you do this? How did you do that? And it's like, would you like to work for an agency full time, creating content? I'm like, man, let's go. So yeah, it was back and forth a little bit, back and forth. We had an interview, we had two interviews, and that was how I got into full-time content creation. So I worked in an agency as well. The challenge with agencies, before I even jump into challenge with freelance, the challenge with agencies is there's so many different pieces to the puzzle. Maybe I'm great with using the camera, and I'm great with editing, let's say. But in an agency, in this field, in this content creation field, you have to be great at selling. You have to be great at describing the vision of that video, of that project to your client. You have to be able to talk. You have to be able to depict, that project in words. Because obviously you don't have it. You don't have the shots. If the client says, "Hey, we want to shoot in this hotel. This is our hotel. This is what we want to do. This how are you going to do it?" You have to be able to put that project in front of them, either through description, descriptive through words, or be able to collect, make a storyboard, a mood board. So there's a lot of different skills that I had to learn to acquire, to be able to actually work in a media agency full time. And that really helped. It was challenging. It was definitely challenging. I worked for that media agency for 2 years, and then I decided, you know what, I'll do the freelance thing. And freelancing is even harder than that. it's there's another layer of difficulty there, because in freelancing, in an agency, you have the guy who's procuring the client, the guy who's calling the clients, "Hey, we have this service, we have that service, would you be interested?" Then you have the guy who is customer relations, and then you have the guy who deals with the account, and then there's so many different pieces. As a freelancer, you have to do all of those. You have to be the accountant, you have to be the customer relations person, you have to be the guy who sells the product, you have to be the editor, the videographer, the light, the drone guy, the pilot, everything, So it's definitely challenging. And the only way to be able to keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it is to actually love it. You have to love it, honestly. If you don't, and when I say love it, it's a rosy, cheesy kind of word, but you really have to enjoy it, because there's going to be problems after problems, challenges after challenges. The clients won't understand what you want. They won't accept your prices. There's so many different challenges, And if you don't really like it, you might be very tired and exhausted from it, but deep inside you have to have that point where you say, "You know what? This is what I want to do. Yes, it's challenging. Yes, it's crazy. Yes, I'm frustrated. Yes, I don't get paid enough. But I'd rather do this than, sell iPhones." You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's I agree completely. And is there any, what kind of motivation actually gets you going? Like any person, any books, any, anything at all? Because I totally agree. You got to love what you do. But at the same time, it can be very frustrating as well at times, like the problems that you mentioned. And that was, I'm sure that was just scratching the surface. And when you actually, go into operation on a daily basis, I mean, there must be like lots of even problems, And what actually keeps you going, keeps your motivation up as well?
To be very honest, it's always remembering where I'm coming from. This is what motivates me. Honestly, it might sound simple, but I always remember where I'm coming from. I've always loved video. I've always been a creative kind of guy, whatever. But it wasn't that from the beginning I used to do what I want to do now. I had to be a teacher. I had to be, which teaching? Okay, no, I love teaching, but I had to be a sales advisor, right? I had to work in a few different shops. Nothing wrong. Again, please, anyone who's watching, there's nothing wrong with that. It's awesome. But if that's not what you want, then of course you're going to have some problems. So I always remember where I come from. Being able to do what I do, even though it's challenging and it's crazy and it's frustrating and yada yada, and I don't make enough money and so many different things. Always remember where I come from. Right now, I'll give you a simple example. Right now it's 6:20, right, on a Wednesday. It's on a Wednesday, 6:20. You know what I used to do on a Wednesday at 6:20, 4 years ago? I used to be in the Apple store selling iPhones. Exact same time. Now I have a chance to talk to you. I don't have to fill in a time check. I don't have to punch in. I don't have to punch out. You know what I mean? I don't have to fill in a request to go on vacation. I don't have to fill in a request to go see my brother's wedding. I don't have to, there's no AI or computer dividing my timetable on a Wednesday 10 to 6 or whatever, on a Wednesday 9 to 7. So what I'm describing here is, the way retail life is in Dubai. I don't know how it is anywhere else in the world, but it's probably the same. Retail life is very, very demanding. It's hard, it's challenging, it's physically challenging. You deal with people face to face. Especially if you talk about Apple products, there's a lot of people who don't like Apple products, and they would come to the store and give you a headache, and you have to be there smiling and, okay, yes, I understand. You'd have people come, hey, they come in the Apple stores like, hey, can I buy a Samsung Galaxy S10? And you're there with the Apple logo on your shirt, and like, yeah, sure, let me show you. So I have situations where there's so many different difficulties, working in a retail shop. So what inspires me today is just as simple as remembering where I come from. In the worst case scenario where everything is so crazy, maybe I don't get paid on time, which always happens from my clients. I don't get paid on time. The clients have 2 million different, amends that they want to do, changes. Or, sometimes the client is just literally tell you, la la la, go la 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 yourself. It's like you fight with the client. It's happening. In those moments, I have to mentally remind myself, remember where you come from. Remember where you come from, what you used to do and what you're doing right now, and where would you want to be. Yes, it's stressful here. I don't make as much money now as I used to do at Apple, honestly. But still, I'd rather do this,
Yep. Crystal clear, absolutely. So you got to accept the downsides of it, but remembering where you're coming from and love what you do, it's really important to
yes
to keep it up, actually, to keep it going. And yeah, that's awesome, man. Very inspiring. This video podcast, we've done more than 55 episodes now, and every time, especially it's more like the benefits to myself. Like, I get motivated to all of you, like talking to you guys, because we get frustrated as well, like on a daily basis as well. But yeah, thanks, Max. So remembering where we come from, and then that helps a lot. Yeah. And so from working for an agency to being a freelance, is there any favorite content that you have it in mind, like, because I know every content is like your child, and they're all coming from you, but any favorite that you can share with us, or it can be more than one, if it's difficult to pick.
To be very honest, I've done a lot of videos when I used to work at the agency, because they used to have so many clients of different caliber, different industries, and I'm doing a lot of videos now as well, because I also have different clients of different industry, right? My favorite videos, to be honest, are the stupid videos I'm making on my personal YouTube channel. Honestly, it's the fun kind of stupid, kind of silly type of videos that I'm making with my wife. That's my favorite video. It's my favorite video to make. It's my favorite video to shoot. It's my favorite video to post. Yes, I have professional videos for whatever, a big client here, a big client there. But at the end of the day, it's not for me. I get money from it, which, thanks God, it's great. But at the end of the day, there's a little, mental separation from it. You can't really, because once you work for clients, right? If you're a photographer, graphic designer, whatever, if you're a creator, once you work for clients, as much as you'd want to input your own creative thought into the project, the client has the say at the end of the day, right? And it's normal. This is how it should be, right? Because this is a video, this is a project for the client. He is paying. So as much as I love those videos, or sometimes I don't really love them, because, oh my God, what do you have in your mind? This is some crazy. I will never do that, but I have to because this is what they want. So my favorite videos, honestly, to keep it short, are my travel vlogs from Greece on my YouTube channel, or I don't know. I have stupid skits with my wife, where she's doing yoga. I'm pretending to be pissed with a voiceover. It's literally a PNG, nothing too crazy. It's just a picture of my face. And there's a voice. I don't know. I find them pretty cool for myself. Other people will watch and say, "What the hell am I looking at?" But it was fun to make. It was fun to edit. It was fun to post. They don't make the most amount of views, obviously, because it's a personal type of video. But yeah, it's my favorite, to be honest.
Yeah, I enjoy your personal videos as well. Like you talk about Instagram, you talk about truth as a freelancer, and you and your wife talk about looking back at the video 5 years ago. I like them, and you spend a lot of time on the layers as well. I mean, for the what was that one? I think the Instagram one or the talking about the truth one. I mean, yeah, I enjoy them. It's personal, but then you still spend a great deal of time to actually do the creative work. So yeah.
I appreciate it, Alex. Really do. I wish I could do YouTube more often, but obviously, like you mentioned it. Even if you work on something that you really love, getting money is not really is not really easy out of that, So yes, I'm monetized on YouTube right now, which great. It's amazing. I'm making what, $20 a month, so I can buy a Red Bull. You know what I mean? It's great. I'm not complaining, but I have to take other jobs. I have to take my clients for now are the priority. Unfortunately, it's not unfortunate. I mean, I'm fortunate to have them, but the priority is the clients because at the end of the month, I have to
Yeah.
pay the bills
You
and
have
all
to pay
that.
the bills, keep the food on the table, etc.
Yes.
And then yeah,
Yes.
agreed. Yeah. So um, when we talk about maybe when you go to work for clients and also creating your own videos, do you have a like favorite accessories as well? Like it can be camera, it can be camera accessories.
Yeah. So my greatest asset, to be honest, the greatest asset that I have is my wife. She helps me with lights. I do have, yeah, honestly, it's if we go into the tech aspect of it, we can talk all day, lights, lenses, cameras, gadgets, because I love them. I really do. I'm obsessed with gadgets, I love gadgets, especially when it comes to imaging and photography. But my greatest asset is my wife. Whenever I have, a shoot, she's there with a reflector, or she's there with the light, or she's there with the headphones, listening to the audio. It's really good because I don't have an agency. I'm a small guy. I'm a small dude. I don't have too many people working for me. It's just me and myself and my wife. But to give you a little example of some of the gadgets, maybe I recently purchased. It's not here. Is the 360. Insta 360, I think that's what.
Yeah.
X2, amazing. Wow, amazing. If you're a small creator out there or you're thinking to start, get a GoPro. It's cheaper than a professional camera. It's a good entry point, or get a 360. You don't even need to know how to shoot. Honestly, you don't even think about it. Just hold it out. It will do everything for you. It will record everything in 360. It's amazing. Honestly, I used to have GoPros. I used to shoot a lot in GoPro. That's actually how I started because that was the cheapest thing that I could, afford. GoPro Hero 4, I think. It was very cheap for me to buy. I bought it secondhand even. But yeah, if there's anyone, interested in videography, because, once you start with photos, and we have phones today that are amazing, take some incredible photography. The moment there comes a time when you're like, I want to graduate. I want to try something else. Let me go into video. Get a 360. Just it's incredible what it does. Honestly, you can reframe in post. You can do all sorts of crazy effects. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm now actually using the GoPro as the cameras as well. Connecting my Mac. So
That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
But
Yes.
yeah, and I haven't mentioned, Andy. He's actually a GoPro Pro, and so he actually got me started using this as well. So
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, and I haven't tried the X2 actually, but I'll definitely do it one day. And that's the latest model from 360, right?
There's the
Yeah.
X3, the latest one. It's X3.
Oops, X3 already.
It's already
Things
up.
changed.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're so fast. Yeah. It's the X3. I have the X2. I bought it 4 months, 5 months ago, before going to Greece. I was thinking either a GoPro or 360. I was like, I've never had a 360. Let's try it. But there's the X3 right now, which has a bigger sensor, captures more light. The image is a lot cleaner. So if you're looking to buy a 360, give it a try. X3.
Cool. And so next one is let's talk about if we ask you to talk about a skills or knowledge in bite size, say maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Is there anything you can share with us? So for those who are listening, and so we can gain something like immediately out of it, because I'm sure you have a lot to share from your library. Your basket is just full of knowledge and skills.
I appreciate it. Well, look, I'll put it simply. Everyone can learn the technical aspect of a camera. Everyone. Even my mom and my dad. They can learn it, right? Everyone can learn the technical aspect of exposure, focusing, and so on and so forth. What really makes you stand out is learning the pacing of the edit. It's not necessarily the technical aspect, which is important. It's very important. But once you edit, and it doesn't matter what you edit, a documentary, a short reel, and anything in between, it's the pacing. Like there's a lot of videos that I see sometimes that lack pacing, timing, the beat. Just to give you a little advice to anyone who's watching and is an aspiring content creator, edit your video, whatever that video is, and switch off the music, and see how it feels. Feel the beat. Do you feel that beat of the cut? How does it move? What's the pacing of it? If you get to learn that, doesn't matter what camera you use. Honestly, it doesn't matter what editing software you use. Final Cut, Premiere, doesn't really matter. Learn the pacing of the edit. That's it. I'll keep it simple. Don't have to say anything else. Just learn the pacing. And when you finish your edit, switch off the music, turn it off, and see how the visuals work. Is there a beat? Have a little beat in your mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like music. You have to feel the way it vibes, the way it works, without music, without sound effects. If you have that beat in your edit, that's it. You have a good edit.
Nice. It's very, very good point. So take the music away and then see if you can
regardless
feel the pacing.
Absolutely. Regardless of what the video is. It can be a super fast-paced travel video, Sam Colder style, whatever. Or it can be a boring, talking head of your client. Just see what the pacing is. How does the cut work? What's the pacing of that video? Where is it going? It's a skill that you have to kind of develop, with listening to music, maybe feeling the edit. I know it's abstract. It's a little abstract, but switch off the music and see how the cuts are working. Should I cut it faster? Should I cut it slower? Like, you will understand it once you develop that feeling. Timing.
That's a very good angle to do it, because a lot of times, for example, short videos on social media, the music dominates quite a bit of the pacing, right?
Alex, if I can say something, whenever I'm on Instagram, I don't have music on. I'll open my phone right now. I don't have music. It's always off. That's why some of these reels are so boring. I swear to you, I'm sorry, everyone, but some of the reels are so boring because it's like, what am I looking at? I have to turn on the music, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. But if you have to do that, then there's something wrong with the edit. There's something wrong with the edit. There's no pacing. It's either the shot is lingering for too long, one shot stays for too long, or maybe it's too short, like figure that out before you even put the music. Have your music, have your track beforehand, work on it, everything, switch it off and see how it works by visual. What's the visual pacing of it?
Yeah, no wonder this guy won the award from MG and Nikon, right? So there's a secret. There's a secret of the final touch, final refinement of doing it to another level.
I've watched my video that I edited without. I'm watching it without music. Yes, there's sound effects and everything and blah blah blah. I switch it off until I'm happy with the edit without music. I will not stop editing. It has to work without music. It has to work for everybody, even for someone who doesn't, like me, who doesn't turn on the sound on their iPhone, or in Reels on Instagram, for example.
Right. Yeah. Very good rule of thumb. So for those who are listening, I think, especially myself as well, I'll try that next time, because I'm sure without the music, my clips or videos will go out of places like very easily.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so to follow that up, any any bite size like words of wisdom in terms of photographies as well?
Photography, yes. In photography, one of the coolest things that you can do is, if you want to start, or if you're already, okay, I'll give you two. One, if you want to start, use your phone. It doesn't matter what you have. Samsung, iPhone, Xiaomi, whatever you have, use your phone. And YouTube is your garden of knowledge. YouTube is everything, right? There's so many tutorials on how to use your phone. The reason why I suggest to use your phone is because you will learn the basics from it. Composition, exposure, right? How to use leading lines, how to work with lights and shadows, all that good stuff. It's the basics of photography that you can learn simply by using your phone. You don't have to complicate it with focal lengths, with f-stops, with shutter speed. Just keep it simple. Learn the basics. Once you understand it, you know how to break the rules, and then you can expand on, okay, I need a professional camera. Let me play with focal length. Let me play with shutter speed. Let me play with this and that. But first, get the basics. Learn composition, which you can do it on the phone. Learn, how to use lights, natural light. You don't even have to work with, crazy light setups, spend money on lights. Work with natural light, Don't be afraid of the shadows. That's what I'm going to say also. A lot of people overexpose. Don't be afraid of the shadows. Bring them in. Work with shadows and lights. And it's so easy to do it on your phone because it's right there in front of you as you expose. You see it before you even take the picture, It's so easy. So that's one. Number two, if you have a professional camera and you are a photographer, ditch your professional camera, get your phone, and do the exact same thing, because honestly, for guys who use professional cameras, with long lenses, and they create beautiful imagery, it's so challenging for me, honestly, to shoot photos on my phone. It's so challenging because I don't have aperture. I don't have focal length. I cannot change the zoom, I'm stuck with that one little lens. Now with iPhones, you have 3 different cameras, and with Samsungs, you have 3 different, so it's a little easier. But before, when I used to work at Apple, we used to have this phone with only one lens, the iPhone XR. I don't know if it's an old phone, doesn't matter. So I used to have just one lens. With that lens, I would challenge my students to, hey, create photos that showcase the entire environment, then show me details with the exact same lens. You cannot zoom, you cannot do anything. So you learn to move. You learn to actually actively search for your shot, for your frame, And even if you have a professional camera, which is great and amazing and good for you, put it to the side and have a challenge once a month. Once a month, challenge yourself. If you're a photographer, once a month, and a videographer, once a month, challenge yourself. Put your phone down, put your camera down, grab your phone, and go out there, create awesome photos. Challenge yourself. It will literally make you better. Honestly, it will make you better.
Awesome. So start simple, use the phone, and
yes,
just get on with it. To polish, you don't need too much technicality or complexity. Just
you don't
use the phone basically.
Yeah. Because honestly, look, we have all these tools and they're amazing, but they can make us lazy. They can make us, I want to get a close-up of you, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to swap the lens, put a micro lens or whatever, a zoom lens. But with a phone, you don't have that option. You really have to think outside the box. Okay, how am I going to do that? How am I going to show a wide angle of something? Or how am I going to show a close-up of something? How am I going to control the light on a phone? I don't have shutter speed. I don't have aperture. How am I going to do that? It's really challenging. And it really sharpens your skills,
Yeah, awesome. And they're actually, good advice to myself as well. So I appreciate that. And for those who are listening, yeah. Absolutely. And cool. And so using my phone and also turn the music down actually, and to actually check the pacing. Very good words of wisdom. Yeah. Awesome. And so in terms of the creative journey, and maybe on a personal creative journey. More importantly, any plans upcoming in the next, say, half a year or a year, maybe another trip to somewhere else, so you can showcase the world to us as well, or any topics that you try out, you can tell us, like, if you can, like, or maybe keep it as a secret.
Alex, to be honest, if I had the chance to travel somewhere, I would be traveling right after this interview. The problem is I don't have that chance at this moment, and probably till the next year, somewhere in the summer, I won't be traveling, to be honest, because of different circumstances here. But if I had a chance, I would probably go back to Sri Lanka because we really love Sri Lanka. We've been there so many times with my wife, and I've been there so many times with my wife, and we've created a lot of photos, but I have never had the chance to actually shoot an interesting, all-encompassing video about Sri Lanka. Where to go, how much does it cost to rent a scooter, how much does it cost to eat here, where should you eat, what should you know, should you get some coconuts from the trees, there a fine for that. I know all these details. It would be cool to go back there, and I also have some friends there that I really really miss a lot. It would be really really nice to go back to Sri Lanka, or honestly even any other place in the world, as it doesn't matter, any other place where I can showcase interesting stuff about the place, details on how to get around, how to rent a car, which one is better, Airbnb or hotel, all these things, for YouTube. But for now, I want to go back to YouTube because, like I said, it's very sporadic. It's like I would work on my YouTube channel. Like, for example, all summer for 3 months, I worked on my YouTube channel, but then I didn't have any clients. Honestly, I was broke all summer. I'm still broke, it affects, because you either dedicate yourself to doing something on YouTube, for example, or you put YouTube to the side and say, hey, let's pay the bills. Summer here is a little slow, because it's very hot. There's not too many people. Everyone is leaving, there's not too much work in summer. So I kind of use that time to create YouTube stuff. For example, my videos from Greece, I spent all summer creating. But I want to go back to YouTube now. It's been 2 or 3 months that I haven't touched YouTube at all. And yeah, if I have a chance to go back to YouTube, even here, showcasing some cool stuff about Dubai that I've never done. I want to do some challenges, for example. I have a bunch of photographer, videographer friends here, and hey, let's have a little YouTube challenge video. You shoot with your phone, I'm shooting with my professional camera, then let's switch. And then, hey, I'm going to choose a song for your video, you choose a song for my video. Let's see how you can edit. You have 1 hour, time is ticking, 10, 10, 10, 10. It's a challenge. And then at the end, you see the product, what he edited, what I edited. People comment, oh, this is ugly, this is cool, stuff like that. But I need time for it. I need time, and I don't have it right now, unfortunately, because I have some clients lined up. Tomorrow I'm going to Abu Dhabi, for example. I have to shoot something for Visit Abu Dhabi. Right. So I have to be there for 3 days. So again, but if I had a chance to keep it short, I would love to go to Sri Lanka, and hopefully next year, I can put some money to the side and go to Sri Lanka.
Awesome. So that's actually good news, right? So you got booked up until Q1, Q2 next year, or whatever. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, you gotta love what you do, right? So yeah. Cool. That's awesome. And do you get any most asked question from people watching your content on digital channels? So maybe we can clear that up in one go a little bit.
Most asked question. The most asked question, I'll be honest, is what camera are you using? I've had so many people ask me, what camera? And it's hard for me to tell because I'm mixing everything. I have my professional Sony camera. I'm using the FX3. And then I'm using my wife's iPhone. I'm using the 360 in my video. So it's a jumbled mess, For me, again, when I do my personal videos, I don't care. I don't care for the camera quality. I'll shoot it on the phone if I have to. I don't even have an iPhone. I'll shoot it on my Xiaomi Mi 10. right? You know what I mean? And for
Yeah.
when I do personal videos, so people ask me questions, hey, what camera are you using? I'm like, which part exactly in the video are you talking about? Oh, that's a GoPro. Oh, this is a 360. Oh, this is my 3-year-old phone. Or okay, this is a Sony. But yeah, that would be the number one question. The number two question is like, hey, where do you live? Where are you from? I'm like, yeah, I'm from Dubai. Obviously, the video's from Dubai, you know, so I have to explain that too. But yeah, number one question: what camera do you use?
Right. Yeah. So for those who are listening and who will be, watching this, I'm sure they get the answer by now. So a couple of different cameras, but whatever 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 you use, just maybe preferably use your phone. It's easier and more intuitive to actually
Yep.
check out different settings stuff, and then
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so for those who are new to, creating content, like myself, and other than what you've just mentioned, in terms of equipment, in terms of, taking away the music to check the pacing, any other, words of wisdom to try to, help people to make less mistakes and then to just an easier journey along the way.
Yes.
Yeah, from your experience.
Yes. I don't know how much wisdom there is to what I'm gonna say, but um, I remember when I used to work full time and as a teacher or as a sales advisor, right? Uh, for anyone who's watching, if you work full time as whatever you do in the office, whatever job you're doing right now, when you work full time, you have a schedule that you follow, right? When you work full time, you have um, responsibilities that you really, really follow, right? If you're sick, if you don't feel like doing it, you still go, right? You wake up in the morning, oh, I don't want to go to work, but guess what? You still go, you still do it, you know? You feel sick, I can't, I don't want to go, I want to call in sick, but you can't call in sick because you called in sick 2 months ago, so you don't have any more sick leaves, right? So you still go to work. Uh, you know, you feel down, you feel stressed, something happens personally in your life, you still show up to work every single time, right? If your shift starts from 9 to 6, you are there at 8:45, right? Right? So if you can do that, right now, if you can do that for someone else, right? For a company, for your employer, if you can dedicate so much time and work, right? And so much strength from you to follow the rules, follow the schedule, go show up to work, no matter what. If you can do that for them, you should have at least 1 hour a week dedicated to yourself, to your own project. Hey, I love painting. When you come back from work, where is that 1 hour? You should dedicate that 1 hour to do some painting because you love it. Usually what happens is we come from work, we're so tired, we're so exhausted, I'm so lazy, just, turn on Netflix, feet up in the air, halas, I'm done, I don't want to work, I just finished my shift, I'm home, I'm on the couch. But how about painting? What happened to painting? I'm too tired. Of course you are. I know you are. I know you are tired, but you were tired in the morning when you went to work for your employer. But you went, you did it. 1 hour is not, it's not too much to ask to do it for yourself. So that's my advice. Number one. Advice number two, there's never gonna be a good time. Remember this, there's never gonna be a good time to start creating. Never. You're never gonna have enough time to do what you want. You love YouTube, there's never gonna be a good time to start YouTube. Something would always happen. Somebody got sick, there's COVID, there's war in Ukraine, there's this, there's that, the meteorite is coming. There's never a good time. You're lazy, you're tired, you don't have money, you're demoralized, you have no patience, it's too hard, it's too painful, I don't know how to do it. There's never a good time. So if you're waiting for that good time, the perfect time to start, you will wait all your life. You'll never do it. There's never a good time to start creating, to start doing what you want to do. There's never a good time to pursue your passion. There's always going to be a problem. You just have to mentally know it. Okay, this is the problem, but hey, I don't care. I have to do it. Yes, I'm sick. Yes, I'm demoralized. Yes, whatever excuse you have. I can't do it because I'm tired. I need coffee. Whatever. Do it. There's never a good time. There's never a perfect time to do anything. So you have to do it regardless. Either way. That's it. That's my whole cup of wisdom.
That's the whole, creating content 101, rule number one, rule number two. Just, it's no excuse. Get on doing it. There's no better time than now. And yeah, awesome. I'm sure it kills a lot of procrastinations for so many people, especially like you said, people working 9 to 6, and then they got to get on to keep up doing what they actually want, what they're interested in.
But that's the crazy thing, Alex. Don't you think like you can dedicate so much time and energy doing something for someone, right? And you do it on time, and you do it consistently, and you do it on schedule, and you're a good employee, right? It's so crazy to me that we can dedicate so much time and energy to doing something for somebody else, and then when it comes to us, I was like, nah, I don't care. It's like, why, dude? Like, this is your time. 1 hour, dude, do it. If we would, if we would behave towards our passions the way we behave towards our employer, at least 50%, man, we would get far and really, really fast, If we would have the same dedication, at least to our passion, to our dream, 50% of the same dedication that we put towards our employer, man, everybody would be amazing.
Yeah. Has anyone told you that you could also be a good life coach other than a content creator, or other than being a teacher as well?
Here's the thing. Yes, I have been told that, but here's the thing. A good life coach would follow his advice. I don't. That's the big problem. I can see, because I can sit here and talk all this, beautiful nonsense, but if I don't follow my own rules, why should people follow them? So a good life coach should implement his own rules first before, teaching somebody else what to do. So I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of work to do myself,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so knowing the rules and breaking the rules or not are two different stories, right? So yeah. But that was very inspiring, and very good words of wisdom to to those not just creating content, but to those who want to do more, achieve more other than their 9 to 5, the normal life, because you can never know what else you can do until you actually get started in doing it.
That's true. That's absolutely true. And again, it's not only about content creating, right? We're talking about it because this is what we love. But man, there's so many people who love to cook, would love to be a chef, or love to learn how to drive, or whatever it is, Dedicate at least 50% of the same passion and dedication that you have for your employer to yourself. Once a month, once a year, once a day, whatever.
So I'm sure everyone has been enjoying this conversation with me and Max, and so much more, more than talking about creating content. And so for those who are new to Max, and please check out, his personal video channel. And on YouTube, on Instagram, there are a couple of very nice, other than travel content, a couple of very nice storytelling videos that I personally very like. And so please check it out. And for those who are listening, and please let us know who else you want us to actually invite and talk about content creation, anything behind the scene. And I think we're getting to a point where we're talking different aspects about life in general, because we all come from different backgrounds, we all have our difficulties, challenges, but like you said, it's down to remembering where you come from, love what you do, because you have to take the good side and the best side, but it's still if that's what you want to do, you got to keep up with it, and then keep on doing it. So thanks, Max, today for chatting with us, and very inspiring indeed to myself and also our team, and also everyone who have been listening, I'm sure. And we enjoy it very much. And so Anything else you want to mention, Max?
Yeah.
And before we close it?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Andy, and the team for the awesome chance to come here and blab out so much. It was fun talking to you guys, and I hope one day I come to visit Hong Kong because I've never did. And yeah, what you guys are doing is really awesome, really amazing. You should know that. I don't know if you get that a lot, but honestly, what you are doing right now is awesome. Keep doing it. Honestly, keep grinding at it, no matter how hard it is, because it's awesome. People need this, they really do. And again, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks. We're trying. Or maybe the other way around, we'll come to Dubai,
Hey,
and
I'm
or
always
Abu
here.
Dhabi,
I'm always here.
Not in the next few days. Not in the next few days.
Hey, whatever. I'm always here. I'll show you around.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so this is the end of this of today's Creato Podcast, Create Together. So thank you very much for listening. We'll all see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
For more information about Creato Podcast, visit our website or subscribe to our show via YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast. What do we do at Creato? We are a bite-sized learning platform curated by creators. You can gain knowledge and skills in 5 to 10 minutes every day by watching bite-sized video content prepared by creators. You can also subscribe to creators on a monthly basis for regular learning. Click the link in description to sign up now and start learning with creators. Thank you for listening. See you next time. Bye bye.